And good Sunday evening, folks. We are live out here at Fatburger and Buffalo's Express on a chilly Sunday evening. And I think last week Chuck told us that we're going to need the heaters over there, that we were out of the cold part of the year. And Louisiana says, hang on a minute, we'll get that straight. But we're out here on another beautiful evening of talking Grace baseball. We're back with Coach Josh Brown. Coach, you guys had a rough weekend over there, but played some good ball. Tell me about give me a little recap of this weekend's tournament.
Went to Eunice, St. Edmunds.
Right.
You know, they hosted us on Friday. Eunice tournament's hosted by like 5 or 6 schools. So we went over there. We played Beauchene the first game, and we're kind of shorthanded. We did some things that probably we normally don't do.
Right.
But, we competed. We had a chance to win the game at the end a couple of times. But the difference in the ball game was, honestly, the fifth inning. Bottom of the fifth, they scored 3 runs without a ball being hit out of the infield. We kind of broke down on defensive coverage a little bit. We had some calls wanted to go to third or second, and we just called the wrong bases, to be honest. We should have got the out, really should have limited them to probably 1 run that inning. But wound up giving up 3, and it was probably the difference in the ball game.
You know, it seems like that. We've seen hitting, and we've heard over and over, hitting is contagious. The oops are that way too. When you have one of those, we used to call it a throw-up inning. You know, it's that inning that you just can't do anything right. Get out of it. The rest of the game's good, and it sounds like that's what happened.
Well, yeah, Seth threw the first 4 innings, and he pitched very well. I think he had 4 walks was the only thing that kind of hurt him. But overall, he gave us a chance to win. He had 7 strikeouts. And then Powell came in, and like I said, we just broke down bunt coverage situation. But, look, we had a kid that hadn't played first all year playing first base.
Right.
We had a kid playing second base, hadn't played second base all year.
Well, and you get Gainey back out in right field, I understand, too.
We had Gainey in right field, which that was huge. But really the difference, having some younger guys on the field or some inexperienced guys playing out of their position was the difference in that game. And then right after that, we had to turn around and play again, so we didn't have to sit there and dwell on what just happened.
Right.
We had to go back and play, and Maddox and Canyon threw a combined shutout, probably against a better team than what we saw the game before. And they were outstanding. I think we went up having 7 strikeouts, but we only gave up 3 hits. The game went down to the final out. They had the tying run at the plate. It was one of those, if you're a fan, it was a great game.
Well, and there's been a couple of those, too, that we've seen. So that's good to see, and that gets you ready as districts right around the corner. You got to start that. As a matter of fact, on Tuesday night, you open up district play. Goodness, it's spread out all over the place, too. Give us a little oversight of the district this year.
Voice Charter right now looks like they're one of the better teams, honestly.
Right.
They're doing well. They're top 3 in power rankings. UA, don't know a whole lot about them. I know they're 3-1, but they got 2 or 3 kids back that's been there, done that. And then Monterey is kind of rebuilding. They lost 7 starters, but they're going to compete. Coach Richard's going to have them ready to play.
Always does.
And then Harrisonburg's got 3 or 4 kids that are not bad. I think they're down, though, in some areas. That's kind of hurting them defensively. And then we got Rapides. I hear they got a decent pitching staff, but having trouble scoring runs.
You know, you talk about Avoyelles Charter having a good team, and that's no surprise. I know when they were back around in districts with us and in prior games, we'd go out there, and it's just one of those, no lights. The games are early out there at their fields. But it's always been a good ball club out there no matter what.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Coach Rigard does a great job. And, they're coming from 2A to B now, and, I mean, with a lot of guys back, and they got one guy signed with LSUE. They're going to be a team that's going to be reckoned with. A lot of seniors on the team too, a lot of experience. They've been playing some good baseball. I think they're 8-3 right now. So we look forward to competing against those guys.
And that's really what we've seen. We go back and we'll talk split and select and non-select and those things. We go back and look at when the split first came around, and there were some watered down big scores in basketball and different things. A lot of teams make it. This year, with the select and non-select, the tournaments and the championships have gotten a little tougher, and that's Division 5 is going to be that way as well.
I think so, too. I mean, overall, it's better, the top to bottom, the way they did it. I think there's only one division I've seen that I thought, man, it'd be nice to be in there. It's a little bit different for everybody, but, overall, I think Division 5 is going to be good. And the thing is, you got to compete. Not everybody's going to make the playoffs this year. Only, 5 or 6 teams are going to be sitting at the house.
Out of the 15 that are there, I guess, what is it, the top 8 that make it, or top 10? Top 10, so you have a couple of buys and go from there. So that top seeding is pretty important.
No doubt. You want to be a top 2, get a bye in the first round, and, kind of sit there and set your pitching up.
And host your playoff game as well. That's another thing that you want to do is I know in the past they've juggled with moving the sites around. What is the championship in semis and that look like? Is it back down in Sulphur?
We're back in Sulphur this year, so we're excited about that.
And that's been off and on over the last few years. I remember back in the late '80s when we were around it. It was, championships were hosted at the higher seed, and you could win one on your own turf and all that. What do you guys prefer in games like that? Heck, I know being there is enough of it, but it's good for the kids, I think, to go on the road and to stay in that atmosphere.
I like the atmosphere better playing the Final Four at Sulphur, honestly. It's no better feeling. It's kind of like the road to Omaha. Everybody wants to get to Omaha in college baseball. Everybody wants to get to Sulphur in baseball.
There you have it. We're going to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, Coach, let's recap, as districts just around the corner, let's recap the first season, if you will, that non-conference or non-district schedule. We'll look at all of that. I see you got a group coming with you tonight. Who are we going to see on the show tonight?
We got a few guys. We got Hayden.
I did see Hayden here.
Canyon Wright. There's a couple young guys showing up tonight. I think a couple older guys are fixing to be here in a little bit, so it'll be a decent crowd here tonight.
Good to see it. We'll talk about all that. We'll delve into it when we get back. You're watching the Warrior Roundup. Here it is with head coach Josh Brown, live from Fatburgers on 446 Sports.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
Make your burger your style with delicious, hand-pressed, never-frozen AAA Angus beef and tons of fresh, tasty toppings. Fatburger. Great taste sounds good, doesn't it?
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
We're back another Sunday evening here at Fatburger and Buffalo's Express on Versailles. Come out in and join us here. I see some of the food getting delivered out there. We won't get in. Let me guess, it's Canyon, more than likely, that's out there doing that. But that's all right. Coach, I told you we'd recap the first part of the season on there. It's been quick. Don't know what that means, Chuck. Oh, he's going to the 3X. Going to get his picture up on the wall again. So that's just a snack beforehand. So first half of the season, Coach, you told me when we talked back early on beforehand, had a couple of players that were ineligible or regaining their eligibility a couple of weeks in. That's happened. Got some injuries back as well. We saw Cooper come back as well. So give me if you look out of this at 9-3 to start the first part of the season before you get into district, give me your thoughts on that.
We're pleased with being 9-3, honestly, because, we were coming in with those guys missing. We were hurting. We had 3 seventh graders getting some action and an 8th grader. So, and honestly, the 8th graders fit in really nicely. Michael Palmer, he's hitting the ball pretty well. I think the last game he played, he kind of struggled a little bit. But then he come up the other night and hit a line drive that if it gets through, the pitcher made a heck of a play on it. We might be up 3-0. But he's done well. But overall, pitching staff is where, I've seen some guys step up, pleasant surprises by a couple of guys. Maddox has stepped up, giving us another top arm, and that's huge because we want to have everybody healthy at the end of the year. And
taking over shortstop pretty well as well.
Correct. He's done a great job there. I like his leadership. He goes out there and plays the game the right way. And then Canyon, who's kind of doing everything for us offensively, and then he's closed a couple of games out and looked pretty good doing it. And I like where we're at. Defensively. I thought the other night we looked a little bit different those last 2 games, but once we get Cody back, we're a totally different team, and and then we can put people back in the positions they need to be. But overall, getting Cooper back was huge. He had 4 or 5 hits last week, and that's a pleasant surprise for the bottom of the order. But we're fixing to have a good problem to have. We're going to have guys on the bench that could be a starter, so we're excited about that. But overall, we do like what we've done so far being 9-3. We had some good wins, and then we had 1 or 2 games I thought, we got it put to us early, and then, you're down 5-6-0. It's a hill to climb back.
And the the struggles with the left-handed arms. How is that falling in and shaking out, and what are you doing to work on that?
Well, we've seen four lefties already. You know,
Right.
St. Edmund threw one after their best guy the other night. And, you know, we did some things to get on base late in the game. He came in and pitched the final 2 innings. We had an opportunity to score runs. We did not execute there at the end. But, you know, we are going to do some things this week to try to help that out. But, you know, I don't know why we're having an issue. We have a guy that throws BP every day that's left-handed. I think it's a mental thing. I think it's just something from that side of the plate. You know, the guy's not seeing, but I think the more you see it, the better you're going to get. So, I mean, and credit to 3 of those lefties. They were pretty darn good.
And no doubt about it. And the one from Ash, the one from Natchitoches Central, and the other was on the road that you saw. And so, yeah, you know, it's not just your average everyday left-handed pitcher that's throwing. These cats are bringing it.
Correct. And, you know, the Natchitoches Central kid and the Ash kid, I give those guys credit. They spotted the ball well. And Natchitoches Central kid impressed me a lot on the mound. And then the Lake Arthur kid, he had great command of all pitches. And we were just able to get him out of the game late and rallied for a win that, honestly, is a big win right now.
Indeed, it is. So you sit at 9-3, and the last I checked, atop the way too early power rankings, you know, without a doubt. But it's good. You don't want to have to climb that ladder by any means the later on, because we've talked about the importance of that 1 or 2 seed.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's huge. That's our goal every year, is be a top 3 seed. You know, we want to be the top if possible. We don't want to get outside of that top 2. If we can stay there, you know, we feel good about our chances in the playoffs.
Absolutely, and a lot comes into that. Now, again, you start off Tuesday night. You guys are on the road, though, tomorrow to Arcadia. Is that right?
Correct. We're at Arcadia. We'll start Aiden Cook on the mound for that one.
He's been impressive this year, the couple of times that I've seen him out there.
He's done well. We're going to bring Gainey out of the pen tomorrow to get him some work. And then Tuesday we'll have district opener, and, you know, we'll kind of see who we're going to start there. You know, we threw some guys important non-district games Friday, so we're kind of still up in the air what we're going to do Tuesday. But we'll have those guys back no matter what the end of the week.
I saw posted on Tuesday night, it's the 4th annual Little Warrior Night. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're going to invite all the kids out, and you don't have to be from Grace Christian School. You can be from anywhere in central Louisiana. Come on out. You know, they'll get to run out on the field when we announce the starting lineups, and then we'll do the national anthem. They'll get to stand by a player, do the national anthem with them, and it's going to be a good time. The kids love it, and the parents love it.
And if they come in uniform, they get in the place. They get in the gate free.
They get in the gate free.
Yeah, see, that's good atmosphere, and that always brings out a lot of folks to those games too. So that's that Little Warrior Night is not a poke at some of the 7th graders that you've had starting for you this year. This is the younger kids that are out there. So we're going to get into the players too. I know you talked to Canyon is out here, Hayden's out here. We'll talk to a couple of others. We're going to get into our next commercial so we can get some of those guys out here. We'll do all of that right when we come back. You're watching the Warrior Roundup with Coach Josh Brown here on 446 Sports. And we are back. We are here on Versailles Boulevard at Fatburger and Buffalo's Express, having another one of those Sunday night shows. This one, yeah, everything is working out fine here. A little bit chilly, but I mean that's anybody that's around Grace Baseball knows that it can be warm one day and cold the next, and that's just the way it goes. I saw Canyon out here a little bit early. He's in mid 3XL challenge over there. Comes out with shorts and no top on, no sleeves, and that's normal for him, huh?
That's normal. That's every day. I mean, the kid playing 20-degree weather with no long sleeves on. That's just Canyon.
Tell me a little bit about the young man you've got here. We've talked about him throughout a lot of the season early on. Glad to have him back. Matter of fact, prior to the show, I was visiting with him and asked him, so how far out are you? When you coming back? He said, well, I started Friday night. So got to be glad to have that, huh, Coach?
Oh, absolutely. Glad to have him back. I mean, he was projected to be our number 4 starter coming in. He had a really good January, and we were really excited the way he was throwing the baseball on the mound. And we really thought he had a chance to be a starter in the outfield as well. And we're just glad to get him back now. And we threw him to the Wolves on Friday night, and he did really well in the outfield. Now we just got to get him caught back up to speed and get him on the mound, work him back in slow. We're not going to work him back in quick, but we need to get him an inning or two on Monday and slowly work him back in, and it's only going to make our pitching staff better.
Talking about freshman Hayden Gainey, who
Correct.
joins us here on the show. And Hayden, I know that you played ball throughout your life. I know you one of the worst things is sitting out and not being able to play. How did it feel Friday night when you got the call and said, hey, you know what, you're getting a start?
Yeah, it felt pretty good just being able to come back and help the team, coming off an injury and stuff. So yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the injury. What was it that got you?
Fell in a basketball game and tore a ligament and stretched too.
Wait, did he say basketball?
Basketball, yes.
So we're not going to do that anymore, right?
No, he's one of our he's probably the best one of the best basketball kids we got at school. He's 6'3", 6'4".
Right.
I mean, he's a dual sport guy. I mean, that's we know that's what he does.
That's just what happens.
It's part of it. We're just glad to get him back out there for us because we know what he can do for us.
Well, that's good having that arm out there too. What fuels you now to get ready and get to be a part and contribute to this team that's been playing solid, starting the year at 9-3, district right around the corner? Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, just trying to come back and help like the small things around the team that needs like helping and stuff, like extra pitching staff members and stuff like that. So just coming out and doing whatever the coaches tell me I can help with. What
have you seen over the first 12 games or so that you have as a freshman maybe not have been around it as much that say, you know what, it's a good place to be the next 4 years?
Yeah, it's just the coaching staff and the players, like how we bond together and stuff as a team and stuff, just really unlike other teams, kind of like brotherhood instead of just like teammates and stuff,
That's what we see out of it too. So looking forward to a big night tomorrow night. I know you guys have, of course, another busy week. You've got Arcadia tomorrow, then back home Tuesday night to open up district play. First part of the season's out. District championship is something you guys are certainly looking forward to, not even going on into the playoffs or any of that, but the district is going to be tough this year. How does that get you ready for a deep run?
Yeah, just seeing like the different opponents that we haven't always seen like the past few years, just seeing new teams and stuff like that. Just got to play our game as good as we can and just face these other new teams, So.
How do you approach the game differently if you're going to be out in the outfield versus if you're pitching that day?
I just kind of keep the same mindset, just do what the coaches say, whatever, just 100% all the time, just ready to play. So.
What do you see, Coach, in the freshman that says, you know what, this is going to be one of our guys?
Oh, I mean, he's going to be there for the next 4 years. I mean, we're excited. The one thing I like about him, 6'3", 6'4",
right,
gives you a different arm angle. And I'll be honest with you, I believe he can be really, really good by the time he graduates on the mound. We talk about Will Reese, who was a dual sport athlete at Anacoco. He kind of reminds me of that size kind of kid being a freshman, and I think he's going to be a heck of a pitcher before it's all said and done. And he swings the bat a little bit. We threw him out there the other night, and he handled the bat well for the first night out.
Last player that I remember, that I recall, that had the kind of size that he's got, went down to play at UNO, and Cortland Ramirez, who would really get that big leg kick up once he got here and got that establishment on there too. And what's the pitches that you bring? That fastball out? Because I've not seen you, unfortunately.
Well, he's a fastball, curveball guy right now. I mean, we've worked on the change a little bit, but like I said, we haven't seen him in four or 5 weeks. So he's only had 1 day of practice, and then he was thrown back out there. But, it's just going to take a little time. It might be 2-3 weeks before we see that stuff we were seeing in January. But, like I said, all is all, getting him back's the biggest thing right now.
Well, Hayden, we look forward to talking to you a lot during the year. Certainly get out here and present yourself well as a freshman. A lot of times some folks just get a little timid on the microphone, but you've not done that. And we're looking forward to a big season with you and what the future brings. So, Hayden Gainey, thank you for coming out today. That Chuck's back playing with the sound effects again. That's that applause that you hear. Going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get Canyon on here if he is done with that 3X challenge. I don't know if he is or not, but we'll see. He says he is, so we're good to go. Now, the challenge is if he can do another one after he gets off the air. That's what we want to see. We'll check it out. We're rolling through the Warrior Roundup. We're live from Fatburgers on another beautiful Sunday night here on 446 Sports.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
Make your burger your style with delicious, hand-pressed, never-frozen AAA Angus beef and tons of fresh, tasty toppings. Fatburger. Great taste sounds good, doesn't it?
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
There was a huge assembly and then he came to the gym and he announced it.
I would like to honor a warrior that is right here.
I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor kidney cancer.
Colin McGee. We're going to fly you and your family to Universal Studios in Los Angeles to meet Adam Levine. Yes!
I got there and then we went to Santa Monica Pier and the water felt good and I found a bunch of cool rocks, and then we went to The Voice the next day. I got to meet Adam Levine after the show, which was amazing.
I'm Bob Giles, and I believe every business should give back. Join me at gilesgivesback.com.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
And we are back here at Fatburger and Buffalo's Express on Versailles Boulevard on a cool, I guess, Sunday night, we can say. It's great. Any night talking about baseball, though, is a good night. I think, as you see on the camera, that's shining off of my bald head a little bit. I do have hair underneath here, just so you know, but my ears get cold even with the headphones on. But we're joined by Canyon Wright, the sophomore for the Warriors. And Canyon, second time we've had you on the show. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
How was that 3XL burger you had?
It was good.
Finished it up, no issues?
No problem.
That's what I'm talking about. And so, but the joke of having another one after you get off the air is not going to happen, huh?
Probably not.
Probably not. See, I've got to attempt that Triple X one of these days. I just don't. I don't know where I'd put it. A hollow leg or a pocket or something. I don't know. Big weekend for you guys last weekend. Go 1-1 on it, 9-3 on the season. You, of course, we saw you pitch some earlier in the week, but Coach Brown was telling me off the air that had a pretty big sequence there at the end of the 2-0 game. Take me through that a little bit.
So the whole at bat, I was throwing fastballs. I don't think I threw a curveball that game.
Right.
So for 2 innings, it was just straight fastballs. Then there was one pitch before that he had hit a pretty far foul ball.
And you, at this point, you guys are up 2-0, and this is the third out. This is for the ball game.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so he hit a couple of long ones off of you, or one?
It was just one foul ball that went probably 313.
How far foul was it?
Like 2, 3, 4 feet.
Goodness, that's one of those that you look up, you go like, get foul, get foul. Yeah. Yeah, was anybody on base? Was that
2 runners were on base?
So wow! So
walk-off home run.
And then take me to what happens the next pitch, because he's zoned in now. He's got your fastball figured out. That's all you've thrown the entire game. Yeah. What do you do to him?
Then I threw a curveball on the outside corner that froze him.
Was that your call, or did that come in, or what did you?
Call.
And what would you say when you saw the old deuce come down there instead of the one?
I knew it was coming because I saw Luke get a wristband that he didn't have before, I guess.
Right.
And
that's a good indicator.
Yeah.
Because this, you don't need the wristband for.
Yeah.
You throw something else in there, and you need that.
Well, LJ went out there just halfway through the second guys at bat and says, I don't have a wristband.
Right.
And we're like, are you kidding me? But then after that happened, I said, bring him a wristband.
And you kind of see there's always, Chuck's always there for that. So that's a pretty good indicator that something's on and something else is coming. But it had to feel good throwing that pitch and getting you out and getting the win.
Yeah, it felt amazing.
A little bit of excitement from you coming off the mound.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a good one. And there's been a lot of those. There's been a number of those. I wish we had it on film because it's always good to get the highlights. Maybe next year we'll work the away games in on some of those too. But, great to have you guys back home this week. I think you've got the Tuesday game and then 2 games, weather permitting, this weekend.
Yes, sir.
What are you looking at now that non-district is virtually over? You have the Arcadia game tomorrow, but you guys settle into that second season, I guess, if you will. You have non-district, you have district, and then the potential playoffs on there. What do you guys got to focus on now that Harrisonburg comes to town on Tuesday?
Fielding, hitting, just everything that we've been working on, but work on it more.
What do you think out of the first part, the first 12 games or so that you take out and say, you know what, this is something that's going to carry us through the season?
Trying to figure out how to hit a lefty is what we need to work on, and we face a lefty every day for batting practice. So
yeah, but the truth be told, he's probably not throwing but about 45 these days, is he? That's Coach Ladner, right?
Yes, sir.
That probably can't get it up there as fast as what you see on the end. So. No, but and I got to believe it's a little bit of a mindset because you guys have the base stealing off of it. I mean, you're often you're reading the move, you read all of that. I think it's just a mindset maybe is, it's a lefty. Does that go through your mind, you think?
For me, it doesn't really. It just see it, hit it.
Right. what do you think some of the younger kids that are there? I mean, you're a sophomore, I get that, but some of the other kids that are on the team, how do you get away from that mindset of, it's a lefty?
Just go up there. Don't change your approach from when it's a righty.
Right. You know, and Coach Brown brought up a good point, too. The two lefties you saw, the one from Ashton, one from Natchitoches Central, that I could speak of, I mean, they were bringing it. It didn't matter if it was right, left, ambidextrous. They were bringing the ball to you.
Yes, sir.
So, well, good to have you back here. I know the Arcadia game you guys will get out. What time is that game, Coach?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. So you'll leave early to get up there for that one. Leave out of school. Second half of the season, or second portion of the season, you guys have a little bit of a different schedule with the opponents that you have on there. Who are you looking forward most to playing this season?
I'm not too sure.
Just all of them?
Yeah, just all of them.
See, that's the approach. That's the answer that we need out of them. It's just whatever game's up in front of you, that's the one that we're looking at.
I don't really treat any game differently.
There you go. That's the answer. And that's part of growing up and growing into it on there. You sit with 4 home runs on the season, I believe. Didn't hit any on the weekend when you were gone, right?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get you back home where you can do that. It seems like you found a pretty comfortable swing out there at Merrill Blackburn Field. So we're looking forward to a little bit more. And I think perhaps it's because we have the shades on while you're out there, and you don't have that. So what you need to do when you're on the road tomorrow is just think about me having the shades on when you come up to bat. Even though I have them there at the house with me, around 4 o'clock I'll put them on and won't take them off. It might be a little awkward for me at work, but, it is what it is. So now relax, go out there and have fun. We appreciate you joining us for the show. Canyon Wright joining us again, and we look forward to talking to you again this season, Canyon.
Thank you for having me.
There you have it. We'll be back after this. Going to take another break here. When we come back, Coach, we'll look ahead again at what's coming up for us in district. Big week starts with Harrisonburg. Home and away is Tuesday, Thursday. We'll talk about how the weather's going to impact things. We'll do all of that when we come back. And we're back. It is a Sunday night edition of the Warrior Roundup here on Versailles Boulevard from Fatburger and Buffalo's Express. A little chillier out here tonight, but hasn't stopped the kids from getting out here. And that's always good to see these young men that have made their way out. Before we, Coach, that 2-0 game on Saturday, I want to talk a little bit more about that before we move on. We talk about the opening of district and the weather and those things. Tell me about that performance by Maddox on the hill on Saturday.
He's got good stuff. I mean, right now he's pounding the zone with all his pitches. I think he's only walked, I want to say, 3 or 4 guys all year on the mound, and when you do that, you're going to have success. Great changeup, great fastball locating, mixing an off-speed pitch there. I just like his presence on the mound too. He's confident, and he wants the ball, and he works the game at his pace, and he's so good at doing it.
The thing that I've seen about this group is that they are establishing themselves as pitchers. They've been around, they've played a lot of ball through the years, and having that mentality on the mound is as important as having that fastball.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt. I mean, like I said, our goal coming in this year was not just to ride one or two guys.
Right.
We kind of did that at the end of the year, and we want to be healthy. We want to have numerous guys we can go to, and I feel like we're working our way towards that, having 4 or 5 guys, and I'm excited about it. I mean, like I said, that game the other night, they threw their best guy at us, and we got on him early. Courtwright had a base hit. Luke comes up, hits a double. Then they get Canyon out. The next guy, Seth, comes up with a base hit. We're up 2-0, and the next 2 hits we have in the game are bunts.
Wow.
So they were tough, and it was a pitcher's duel, and we played extremely good defense as well. Our center fielder made some great plays out there.
But I'll liken that to jumping on a first pitch fastball too, coming up with a mindset, because you'll see teams that it may take them 2 or 3 innings to get into the groove, knowing that a pitcher is very likely going to settle down after some first inning jitters, and being able to come out and get those couple of runs is pretty special.
Oh, no doubt about it. In a game like that, when it got to the 5th inning, we're like, those 2 runs may win the game. Now we got to go pitch to win the ball game. And it was huge, him getting us to the 5th inning. That's our goal this year, is get starters. If they can give us 5 innings, get to the bullpen. And Canyon, like I said, has 2 saves already. He throws a 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, and a curveball. And when that 2-seam's working, he's tough to hit.
Well, it's great to see. So we will switch gears now. I know you have the final game against Arcadia tomorrow of your non-districts. Like now, I know some are sprinkled in later, of course, the weekend they are as well. But what do you see out of that Arcadia team?
I mean, honestly, they've only played 4 or 5 games. It's one of those games, we got to have. I noticed they're competing better this year. I think they lost yesterday 11-8 and 5-4, 2 ball games. We just got to go up there and play ball. I mean, I think they're not going to have the arms that we've been seeing.
Right.
But it's kind of good to have that game or 2 like that, because especially when district's right around the corner. So that's kind of why we put that game in there.
Well, you talk about arms and you talk about the importance of it. You guys on schedule have 5 games this week, and the pitching limits are out there. And so if you don't have the arms that you have or that anybody has, I mean, you run out of it and you get on the tail end of some lopsided games later on when you're bringing in somebody that really is just there to eat up some innings.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of people don't know this, that watch high school baseball. We lost a week in the season this year. They cut it off, and that kind of has hurt everybody. So everybody's still trying to cram all these games in.
And it's always been that way, that it seemed like you try to put 33, 35 games in that 2-month season.
We try to. I mean, I know last year I think we made 32. Right now we have 32 scheduled. We want to do that because of power ranking system, honestly. Right. And some of these schools don't play but 1 or 2 district games, and here we are playing 10. I feel like there's an unfair advantage there. I wish everybody had to play the same amount of district games.
Right, and a tough one like it is that you'll find. So it's good to get that going. But, again, these arms, and you know that year to year too, and so it's not like it sneaks up on you and says, uh-oh, we've got to have some arms. You guys are developing this. And jokingly, we talk after the last game of the season, whatever year that it is, that summer ball starts in about a week. So it's always been a quick turnaround for that.
Correct. And that's the time we develop arms.
Right.
We do that starting in the summer, and then we go into the fall. It's huge. A lot of people don't put in the time in summer ball, but it's very crucial.
Right.
A lot of people are running off playing travel ball, this and that. My thoughts on travel ball right now is kind of wild. I just feel like there's guys that we thought we would see on the mound this year that we did not, and coaches are coming back saying, hey, he threw too much in travel ball. We don't have him now. And I feel like that's why I like to see more high school coaches messing with the summer ball, because it's crucial. If you want to develop your guys and have good arm care, you got to take care of your own people.
What do you think you attribute that to? Because it is, travel ball, and we came up through it, has gotten to be a big money, high publicity event. You see, and I don't want to, I dare say that the reason for the explosion is it's making a lot of people a lot of money.
It is
in there, and that's what you see kids that are paying the price for it that throw all year long, and that's tough on the kid when it's about how many teams do we have in this tournament, and what are we able to do in the tournament and the money that we're going to make, and I just don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I like our summer league. I think it's great, and we're watching our guys. And like I said, I've met at least 6 or 7 coaches in the past year that have told me over and over they didn't see their guy all summer, and they get him back, and they're like, he's not the same, you know. And then we find out, like some guys, they're throwing one day a week for their high school team. Then they go on a travel ball tournament, and they might throw 10 innings.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just not good. Again, you know, I'm really picky about it, and I want our guys to be smart about doing that. That's why I'm so, hey, let's develop our program. You know, people say that college coaches are at all these travel ball tournaments, and they might be at a few, but most of them are not there. I mean, if they're going to see you, if you're good enough, they're going to find you.
You're exactly right, and it doesn't matter what level, what school, what anywhere you are, and that's, you know, that's represented by that banner that you have out there on the fence that shows, or behind it, I guess is where, of all the players that have went and signed to play college baseball through Grace. What's that number up to now?
We got 21 guys, and we're fixing to have 22.
Yeah. So we're still working on getting that done on the show on a Sunday night with LJ. We've got to get.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We talked about it, and we're just waiting for him to decide what he wants to do.
Yeah, it's good for these young men, and we don't have to have the hats. We don't have to have any of that. We just we'll let him and get his opportunity, and it'll be recorded. So he's getting a ton of offers, I know.
Yeah, he's got 9 or 10 schools been talking to us, and you know, he's already got the offers. He's just got to make up his mind.
Right, and that's tough. It really is, and you really hate to do it in the middle of the season too, because now your thought process is on there. But I'll tell you, and it's Luke that we're talking about in there. LJ does that. I went back and watched the other night. It was the night that Cooper had come back, and so I went and I replayed the game and looked at it again, and I watched the swing that Luke has, and it's a swing on a ball inside that's one way. Going out after one opposite or away from the plate to drive it the other way, he's got a different way. You hear the quarterback, they talk about make every throw. I believe he hits every pitch.
Oh, he can, absolutely. He's a phenomenal hitter, and he works in the cage at it nonstop. He's a lot of times we'll have a game, he's in there before everybody else is.
Yeah, we see that when we're out setting up too. That he'll be out there and getting those extra hacks. And that's that nonverbal leadership that we talk about, being able to get out there and let some of these younger guys say, you know what, this is what he's not lucky that he hits the ball the way he does. He's out there working on his craft.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you got to do this day and age. I mean, pitching-wise, you're going to see different arms, and but he keeps it simple. See ball, hit ball. I mean, that's what it's got to be, but he's trying to go the opposite field. You know, balls pitched outside, take it that way. Yep. Inside, pull it. You know, it's not just, hey, I need to pull everything. So many high school kids are looking to pull. And
well,
it's not
because
just about that.
That's where the home runs can, and you know, one of the great movie lines on there about the home runs. But it's just hitting the ball where it is. That's what gets that coach's eye. That's what works for your team, being able to hit behind a runner if the shift is on. Are you able to go over to the opposite field with it and hit them where they ain't?
Correct, and we did that a couple times this week, and I was pleased. And some of our younger guys, because we do talk about it a lot, you know, hit it where it's pitched.
Right.
And, you know, go to work that way. Good things will happen.
And he's played solid on defense. I know he caught both games for you this weekend. I don't know. I expect he likes to get back to third base, but the ball's coming at you as fast behind the dish as it is at third base over there. But he has really been solid at third base for you.
Oh, he's great. Great third baseman. You know, 14 innings behind the plate. Yeah, I would say he's ready to get back to third base.
Indeed it is. Well, we're going to take our final break of the night. When we come back, we'll look ahead once again to that tournament coming up this weekend, see what our thoughts are, weather permitting in that one. And that's the two worst words in baseball is weather permitting. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're watching the Warrior Roundup with Coach Josh Brown right here on 446 Sports.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
Make your burger your style with delicious, hand-pressed, never-frozen AAA Angus beef and tons of fresh, tasty toppings. Fatburger. Great taste sounds good, doesn't it?
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
There was a huge assembly, and then he came to the gym and he announced it.
I would like to honor a warrior that is right here.
I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor kidney cancer.
Colin McGee. We're going to fly you and your family to Universal Studios in Los Angeles to meet Adam Levine. Yes.
I got there, and then we went to Santa Monica Pier, and the water felt good, and I found a bunch of cool rocks, and then we went to The Voice the next day. I got to meet Adam Levine after the show, which was amazing.
I'm Bob Giles, and I believe every business should give back. Join me at gilesgivesback.com.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
And we're back to the Warrior Roundup. Doug Gann alongside of Coach Josh Brown. And, Coach, your players are kind of bailing out. They're getting back inside after they've had their burger. A lot of them were out here tonight, and great to have those guys. Can't see. There's one back behind the light. Can't see who that is.
Yeah, it's Talon. He's been out here every weekend.
Yeah, he got in a couple of the games. I remember calling the name, too, because that's one of those that I say, well, wait a minute, let me make sure I pronounce this right, too.
Yeah, because against Ash, he actually came in and threw kind of mop-up duty late in the game and actually threw the ball well.
Yep, that's right. So games like that, Ash, you bring it up. That's good ones, part of the two, those Natchitoches Central and then St. Ed's. And St. Ed's has always been a baseball power. I mean, that goes back to when the Trey Altic tournament first started getting its roots in, and folks were playing on there. But it's been around for forever and a great program. But these type of games scheduled early on are what gets you ready for district. And, we talk a lot about the playoffs and the ends and all that, but if you don't go out there and take care of district, then none of that matters.
Correct.
And that starts Tuesday night with you against Harrisonburg. We know you play your Tuesday, Thursday games, and the idea was behind that is that one pitcher doesn't come out and you see him on Tuesday and then you see him the next Tuesday as well. You have to have some depth.
Oh, absolutely. I like the back-to-back series. I think it's good. I really wish – at first I was hoping we'd do a 3-game series, but now with the power rankings, 2's enough. Now sometimes I feel like 1 game's enough with the power ranking system. But, it is what it is. Whatever the district schedule is, we want to compete, and we want to try to defend our district championship.
And it's good to have. There's such great rivalries out there, and it makes for – I invite anybody, and we tell them all along too, don't watch the game on 446 Sports after the game is over with. Get out to the ballpark and feel it. I mean, there's no better place to be than out at the ballpark, without a doubt. And Chuck and I were talking about softball is his forte, but he's just got a lot of the kids that he teaches there and grew up with it with the daughter and just been around it. But I'm trying to educate him that baseball is what it's the natural purest game out there, and there's no place to be but the ballpark. Now, one thing that keeps us out of the ballpark is weather. Tell us a little bit about, I know you're looking ahead at that forecast. Friday is when you have one of your tournaments that you and Bolton are putting on, but that Friday doesn't look great.
Yeah, that's the Merrill Blackburn Classic. We changed the name to it this year. 90% chance of rain on Friday, 60% on Thursday. A little bit worried about that. If that happens, we might only have a one-day tournament.
Right. And that's set up for games at Bolton and at Bolton and at Grace.
Correct.
On there. And this will wrap up. That'll be the last tournament. You've had the Jamboree earlier, the one other, and this with the Louisiana Prep Classic. This is your final tournament here this year, right?
Correct.
All right, so you'll get into district. Now, you do scatter some other non-district teams in there. I know towards the tail end of the season, there's a lot of jockeying going on for those last-minute power rankings. But what do you look for when you're scheduling towards the end of the season?
Power rankings. Honestly, that's like everybody else. But we did add Westlake and Cedar Creek after the series with Monterey next week, so we'll go. That's going to be our spend-the-night trip. We'll go up to Ruston, play Cedar Creek. Then not Westlake, Northwood Shreveport.
Okay.
We have Northwood Shreveport, who is 4A, having a really good season. I think they're 11-5 right now. So we'll play them on the Saturday. And then we have Westlake the following week. So we still have some very quality clubs on our schedule, and we do that because of the power ranking system. And if there's a district team that is struggling, not winning a whole lot of games, you got to put somebody in there that's going at it and it has a chance to win 15, 20 games.
And that's why a lot of folks will answer your call a lot. To be, even though a Class B school, you got a lot of wins year in and year out you'll have on there, and that affects everybody at that point. Explain just a little bit about the benefit of playing up or about the wins and just what goes into the power rankings.
Well, for us, if you're a Class C or B school, every time you play up, you get 2 points per classification, so it's huge.
Per class that you go up? Okay.
So, you want to play good teams, but also, there's another side to it. Some teams want to play a 5A school, even though they might only win, 2 games or 5 games or whatever, but they're getting 10 points before the game even starts.
Right.
Like Natchitoches Central the other night, we went into that game, we were getting 19 points because they're 9 wins and 10 points per class. So,
and then as they add, because it doesn't stop there, you'll continuously, every game they win, it adds a power, a point to you.
Which is huge. So that, that's why we scheduled the way we did this year, because of that, because we felt like last year we didn't schedule that tough overall. We had a young squad and we just didn't know what we had. But this year I just felt like no matter what we have, we're going to play a little tougher schedule.
And you've historically through the year you've done that. I remember 2 or 3 years in a row you had Barb. And that was off of their national championship runs and things like that. But the guys never back up from it. And I'm seeing that from these young men that are on the team too.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fight in them. I mean, we're not afraid to play anybody. And, you know, you want to play the best and see the best pitch. And that way you get to our division, you're like, hey, you know, we've already seen guys better than this. And that's what we want to do.
I've got to believe that anybody that trots out there from here on out is something that you've seen before, and that's why that you do that. So looking ahead, Grace Christian has Arcadia tomorrow. That game is at 4 o'clock, and then back home for Little Warrior Night on Tuesday night as you welcome in Harrisonburg and open up district play for that. Thursday is the Harrisonburg game again, and then we'll see what the weather does. So something out to the younger players that want to come out for Little Warrior Night. What do they need to do? Do they need to register or just show up in uniform? What do they do?
We tell them to be there by 5:45. You know, if they're there, then we'll get them all situated and get by the dugout. We'll line them up with their favorite player, and it'll be a great night.
Well, we're excited about it as well. And then we'll look ahead to the following week and recap this next week. Join us next Sunday, and I guarantee you that it'll be a little different weather than this. Hopefully it will be. If not, we're gonna move this inside. But it's great to be out there. Who hasn't sat through some of these cold mornings and cold days out there following baseball? But again, there's no place you'd rather be. We're thankful for all of you that have joined us tonight. The guests that came on the show, of course, Canyon and Hayden that came on. We look forward to talking to some more of the other players as we move on. Coach Brown, thank you again for taking time away from your family and your group to come out here and visit with us on Sunday nights.
Oh, we appreciate it. You guys, everything y'all do, promoting high school athletics. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for that. For my man Chuck Perkins, head coach Josh Brown, and all of the Warrior Nation, I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.